Get ready, folks, because the news cycle is absolutely electric, and we've got some seismic shifts happening right under our feet. The pace is relentless, the stakes are higher than ever, and if you're not plugged in, you're missing out on the stories that are redefining the game. We're talking about moves that could shake up entire industries, connect major political names to the digital frontier, and redefine what's possible in finance. From Wall Street whispers to groundbreaking tech, this is the real-time intel you need to stay ahead. Buckle up, because you're about to get the unmissable updates you've been waiting for. We're kicking things off with a story that's got everyone talking. A major player in the American financial scene is making a bold move into the digital asset space, and it's bringing some very high-profile names along for the ride. Next up, while one project is making waves with established connections, another is capturing massive investor attention as a potential game-changer in its own right. This emerging digital asset is rapidly ascending. Its presale stages are selling out at lightning speed, and market watchers are dubbing it a serious contender, even a Bitcoin alternative. We'll break down what's fueling this surge and why it's being compared to some of the biggest success stories in the crypto universe. Then, we're shifting gears to a development that's making government data more secure and transparent than ever before. Imagine vital economic information becoming truly immutable, etched onto blockchains for all time. We'll explore how major public data is being published on networks like Bitcoin and Ethereum, and what this means for trust and accessibility in official reporting. And finally, we're diving into the tech that's aiming to redefine security in digital trading. A significant funding round is fueling a startup that promises Bitcoin-grade security for all sorts of assets, from stocks to bonds, all without relying on risky intermediaries. What does this mean for the future of cross-chain trading and asset settlement? You do not want to miss this. Hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and let's dive in. A political powerhouse enters the digital arena. This is a story that's sending shockwaves through both the financial and political worlds, as a prominent American family with deep ties to the highest levels of government is making a significant play in the digital asset space. We're talking about a venture that aims to launch on Wall Street, specifically targeting a Nasdaq debut, and it's being spearheaded by none other than the sons of a former U.S. president. This isn't just another crypto company. It's a meticulously crafted move to bridge the gap between traditional finance, political influence, and the burgeoning world of digital currencies. The company in question, American Bitcoin, is gearing up for its public debut through a merger with Griffin Digital Mining. What's truly capturing headlines is the significant control that key figures associated with the Trump family will wield. Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr., alongside the mining giant Hut 8, are slated to control a staggering 98% of the company once the deal is finalized. This level of direct involvement from such high-profile individuals is unprecedented and immediately elevates the venture beyond a typical market entry. Hut 8's CEO, Asher Genoot, has emphasized that this combination is all about achieving scale and broadening access. By merging, the new entity gains access to a more extensive network of financing channels, crucial for expansion in the increasingly competitive cryptocurrency mining sector. For potential investors, the Trump name is an undeniable magnet, guaranteeing attention and, undoubtedly, sparking considerable debate about the implications of such a high-profile association. Eric Trump himself has been actively promoting the American Bitcoin brand internationally, making stops in key financial hubs like Hong Kong and Japan. These efforts are clearly aimed at tapping into global demand for regulated exposure to Bitcoin, particularly in regions where access to U.S. stock markets might be more constrained. The strategy appears to be positioning American Bitcoin as an accessible gateway for investors who want a taste of the crypto market, without the complexities of directly holding digital assets. This public listing represents more than just the addition of another ticker symbol. It signifies one of the most direct attempts by the Trump family to intertwine its powerful political brand with the rapidly evolving landscape of digital finance. This unique crossover is bound to generate both immense enthusiasm and considerable skepticism, as market participants grapple with whether political leverage is a genuine asset or a potential liability in the notoriously volatile crypto arena. Wall Street will be watching closely to see if a politically charged listing can attract substantial investment flows, or if the associated controversy will deter potential investors. The trading volume and momentum of ABTC, the planned ticker symbol, will be critical indicators. Strong performance could validate this strategy and pave the way for more politically aligned ventures in crypto. Conversely, a weak debut could amplify doubts about the marketability of family names in this sector. The company is entering a challenging market. Bitcoin's inherent price volatility, the evolving regulatory environment in the US, and intense competition from established miners like Marathon and Riot mean that operational execution will be paramount. However, in the immediate term, the sheer power of the Trump brand may be sufficient to drive significant speculative interest as trading commences. Hold on tight, because the next story is just as explosive, revealing a different kind of contender making major moves in the digital asset space. Get ready to meet the potential Bitcoin alternative that's capturing investor imaginations. A new contender emerges as a Bitcoin alternative. In a market often dominated by established giants, a new project is rapidly capturing the attention of investors, drawing comparisons to the very foundation of the digital asset world. MAGACOIN Finance, an Ethereum-based initiative, has announced that its presale is heading into its final stages, marking a significant milestone fueled by multiple rapid sellouts. This accelerating momentum has positioned the project as a serious contender, with many now viewing it as a potential Bitcoin alternative for growth-oriented investors. While Bitcoin continues to command the spotlight, a noticeable shift in focus is occurring, with MAGACOIN Finance emerging as one of the most talked-about altcoins of the year. Market commentators are attributing its rapid ascent to a compelling combination of strong presale performance, a meticulously designed tokenomics model emphasizing scarcity, and a unique cultural relevance that broadens its appeal far beyond typical crypto circles. Analysts suggest these factors are creating a powerful foundation for strong performance as the project prepares for its upcoming exchange listings. The presale phases for MAGACOIN Finance have consistently closed ahead of schedule, reflecting a level of enthusiasm typically reserved for high-profile, blue-chip launches. The project's tokenomics are built around a scarcity-driven model, featuring a supply structure designed to gradually tighten over time. This deliberate scarcity is intended to bolster long-term value, leading many early investors to believe they are securing one of the most advantageous entry points in the current market cycle. Independent market observers have pointed out that initial coin offerings, ICOs, and presales often provide some of the most substantial early returns for investors once the tokens become publicly tradable. In the case of MAGACOIN Finance, the sheer pace and intensity of participation have drawn parallels to the early growth phases of highly successful projects like Shiba Inu and Dogecoin, hinting at significant potential. The label of a Bitcoin alternative is being applied not as a direct competitor, but rather in reference to its growth dynamics and potential for exponential returns. Bitcoin, with its massive market capitalization, offers stability and a store of value, but its scope for astronomical gains is naturally limited. MAGACOIN Finance, operating at a much smaller scale, has the potential to experience outsized price movements even with modest capital inflows. Strategists view it as a complementary asset, offering investors exposure to higher risk, higher reward growth opportunities that can coexist with more established holdings like Bitcoin. Adding another layer to its unique positioning is the project's significant cultural resonance. MAGACOIN Finance strategically taps into broader political and financial narratives, allowing it to garner visibility and recognition well beyond the confines of the traditional cryptocurrency community. Analysts suggest this crossover appeal is reminiscent of the dynamics that propelled Dogecoin from a meme into a widely recognized mainstream asset. By capturing attention both within and outside of digital asset circles, MAGACOIN Finance has managed to avoid the obscurity that often hinders new tokens, establishing itself as a recognizable and widely discussed project across diverse communities. As the presale phase nears its conclusion, the narrative of scarcity is becoming increasingly central. Market strategists anticipate that the confluence of robust presale momentum, distinctive cultural branding, and burgeoning investor attention could firmly establish MAGACOIN Finance as one of the standout token launches of the year, setting a precedent for future projects. Stay with us because our next story takes us to a place where official data meets the cutting edge of blockchain technology, making information more secure than ever. Get ready to discover how government data is becoming truly immutable on the blockchain. Government data goes immutable on the blockchain. In a groundbreaking move that merges official record-keeping with the security and transparency of distributed ledger technology, the United States has begun publishing its gross domestic product, GDP, data in an immutable format. This significant step involves leveraging the power of major blockchain networks, ensuring that critical economic information is tamper-proof and permanently recorded for public access and verification. The initiative marks a pivotal moment in how governments can enhance trust and accessibility in their data reporting. This innovative approach sees key economic indicators, specifically GDP data, being published not just on traditional platforms, but also recorded onto public blockchains. The test phase of this program specifically excluded certain cryptocurrencies like Cardano and XRP, focusing instead on robust and widely adopted networks. Notably, data oracles such as Chainlink and Pyth are now carrying this official U.S. government GDP data, acting as crucial bridges between the governmental data sources and the blockchain networks. The implications of making government data immutable are far-reaching. By publishing GDP figures on blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum, the U.S. government is essentially creating an unalterable historical record. This means that once the data is recorded, it cannot be altered or deleted without leaving a clear, auditable trail. This level of transparency and security significantly bolsters confidence in the accuracy and integrity of the economic data being released to the public and the global financial community. This move aligns with a broader trend of exploring blockchain technology for governmental applications, aiming to improve efficiency, reduce fraud, and increase public trust. For GDP data specifically, immutability ensures that historical economic performance figures remain verifiable, providing a stable baseline for economic analysis, policymaking, and historical research. It addresses potential concerns about data manipulation or accidental alteration, which can be critical in sensitive economic reporting. The selection of Bitcoin and Ethereum as platforms for this data underscores their established security, decentralization, and network resilience. These networks have proven their ability to maintain data integrity over long periods, making them suitable for housing critical, long-term records. The involvement of data oracles like Chainlink and Pyth is essential, as they are responsible for securely feeding the off-chain GDP data onto the blockchain, ensuring that the data is both accurate and reliably transmitted. This initiative could set a precedent for other governments worldwide, demonstrating a practical and secure method for publishing vital public information. It signifies a maturing understanding of blockchain technology's potential beyond speculative investments, highlighting its utility in enhancing governmental transparency and operational integrity. As more official data becomes blockchain verified, it could foster a new era of data accountability and trust. And now, prepare yourself for a story about a startup that's securing the future of trading with a revolutionary approach, backed by significant investment. Get ready to learn how Bitcoin-grade security is coming to all your favorite assets. Revolutionizing trading with Bitcoin-grade security. A significant capital injection is set to transform how digital assets are traded, bringing unparalleled security to a wide range of markets. Portal to Bitcoin, a protocol focused on enabling trust-minimized cross-chain trading, has successfully secured $50 million in new financing, led by Paloma Investments. This substantial funding round brings the project's total raised capital to an impressive $92 million, signaling strong investor confidence in its ambitious vision. The primary objective of this new funding is to accelerate the expansion of Bitscaler, Portal's proprietary adapter. Bitscaler is designed to scale native Bitcoin transactions without the need for wrapped tokens, custodial bridges, or other less secure methods like message passing. This innovative technology aims to unlock the full potential of Bitcoin as a settlement layer for diverse financial markets, including tokenized stocks, bonds, stablecoins, and various other real-world assets. The focus is on maintaining the highest security standards, often referred to as Bitcoin-grade security, throughout the entire trading and settlement process. Portal's CEO and founder, Dr. Chandra Duggarala, articulated the company's core mission. We want users to trade any asset, traditional or decentralized, and settle with Bitcoin-grade security without custodians ever being involved. This vision emphasizes a future where users can interact with a vast array of assets with the same level of security and trust that the Bitcoin network inherently provides, all while operating in a non-custodial manner. This approach aims to eliminate counterparty risk and enhance user control over their assets. The newly acquired capital will be strategically deployed to bolster Portal's grants program, fostering innovation and development within its ecosystem. Furthermore, the funds will be used to onboard both institutional and community liquidity providers, crucial for establishing deep and efficient markets. To demonstrate the capabilities of its platform, Portal is also actively working on pilot integrations with popular wallets and custody solutions, showcasing the seamless execution of non-custodial swaps. If Bitcoin indeed solidifies its position as the default settlement layer for cross-chain trading, it could fundamentally reshape the landscape of global crypto liquidity. Anchoring tokenized markets directly to the world's largest and most secure blockchain would create a more robust, reliable, and interconnected financial ecosystem. This could significantly enhance the adoption and integration of tokenized real-world assets, as highlighted by recent reports from institutions like Bank of America, which note the growing momentum in this sector. The development of technologies like Bitscaler is pivotal in achieving this goal. By enabling native Bitcoin interoperability without compromising security, Portal to Bitcoin is paving the way for a more efficient and secure future for digital asset trading. The project's success in attracting substantial venture capital underscores the growing demand for secure, decentralized financial infrastructure. And that brings us to the end of another packed news cycle. But before you go, let's do a quick recap of the biggest stories that just dropped. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, ring the bell for notifications, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What a ride! We saw the Trump sons aiming for a Nasdaq launch with American Bitcoin, MAGACOIN Finance surging as a potential Bitcoin alternative, the US making GDP data immutable on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and Portal to Bitcoin raising $50 million for Bitcoin-grade security and trading. Stay ahead of the curve, subscribe, hit that notification bell, comment with your thoughts, and follow us on all social channels for more breaking news.